Welcome back to the channel, and today we are running for our lives into the most anticipated zombie sequel in cinema history, World War Z 2, the long-awaited follow-up to 2013's World War Z that grossed an astonishing $540 million worldwide and became the highest-grossing zombie movie of all time. And if you believed the first film's tsunami of sprinting undead was the most terrifying thing you had ever seen on screen, you are absolutely not prepared for what Paramount Pictures has been quietly resurrecting after 12 years of false starts, canceled productions, and one of the most tortured development hells in modern blockbuster history. The sequel was officially confirmed at CinemaCon 2026 in April, when Paramount executive Josh Greenstein announced the project as part of the studio's priority slate, alongside Top Gun 3, Star Trek, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Call of Duty, marking the first concrete movement on this franchise since David Fincher's version was abruptly shut down in February 2019. And this time, the studio appears committed to delivering the film that fans have been demanding since Brad Pitt's Jerry Lane first injected himself with a deadly pathogen to become invisible to the undead hordes. Brad Pitt's return as Jerry Lane remains the single biggest question mark hanging over the project, with the actor having recently starred in F1, which surpassed World War Z to become his highest-grossing film ever at $575 million worldwide. And while Pitt has not officially confirmed his involvement, industry insiders suggest that Plan B Entertainment, the production company he founded with Dee Dee Gardner and Jeremy Kleiner, is actively developing the sequel, meaning his return is far more likely than the studio is publicly admitting, especially given that the original film's success was built almost entirely on his movie star charisma and the global audience's investment in his character's desperate race against the apocalypse. The original film's director Mark Forster announced shortly after release that he would not return for the sequel, and the project then cycled through an astonishing roster of filmmakers, including J.A. Bayona, who was attached in 2015 with a script by Stephen Knight, followed by David Fincher, who spent years in pre-production before Paramount pulled the plug due to budget concerns and China's ban on zombie films, with Fincher later revealing to GQ that his version would have been a little like The Last of Us, featuring a title sequence with the little parasite and a Dick Cavett, David Frost-style talk show opening that eerily mirrored what HBO eventually accomplished with their acclaimed series. The current iteration of World War Z 2 has no confirmed director, no confirmed writer, and no confirmed cast beyond the swirling speculation about Pitt's involvement. But what we do know is that Paramount Skydance, formed from the $8 billion merger between Paramount and Skydance, is treating this as a cornerstone franchise alongside Top Gun and Star Trek, with producer David Ellison, who served as executive producer on the original film, now overseeing the project under the merged company's banner. And the studio's plan to release 15 films annually, with theatrical exclusives as the priority, means World War Z 2 will likely receive the blockbuster budget and marketing push that the 2019 version was denied. The plot remains entirely under wraps, but if the sequel follows Max Brooks's original novel more faithfully than the first film did, we could see a post-war reconstruction narrative told through survivor testimonies, flashbacks to battles we never witnessed, or a concurrent storyline following different protagonists during the same outbreak that Jerry Lane survived. And the most tantalizing possibility is that the film could finally embrace the oral history structure of Brooks's book, giving us multiple perspectives from soldiers, politicians, and ordinary civilians across the globe as humanity rebuilds from the brink of extinction. The original film's signature visual of the undead tidal wave,
thousands of sprinting zombies forming a human pyramid to scale walls, pouring over barriers like a living flood, revolutionized zombie cinema. And the sequel will need to escalate that spectacle while maintaining the grounded terror that made the Jerusalem wall sequence one of the most memorable set pieces of the 2000s, with early speculation pointing toward new global locations, new mutation variants of the Solanum virus, and the possibility of intelligent undead leaders emerging from the hordes as the infection evolves beyond simple, rage-driven hunger. The supporting cast from the first film, including Mireille Enos as Karin Lane, Jerry's wife who held their family together during the outbreak, Daniela Kertész as Sigan, the Israeli soldier who lost her hand to infection, and James Badge Dale as Captain Speak, who sacrificed himself
in South Korea, could theoretically return in flashback or present-day sequences, though the 12-year gap makes narrative continuity a challenge that the filmmakers will need to address creatively. The production design will likely expand the militarized quarantine zones, refugee camps, and bio-research facilities that defined the first film's visual palette, with modern visual effects capable of rendering undead hordes on a scale that was groundbreaking in 2013, but has since been matched by television series like The Walking Dead and video games like Days Gone. Meaning, World War Z 2 will need to push the boundaries of crowd simulation and digital stunt work to reclaim its title as the most visually spectacular zombie franchise in existence. The marketing campaign has not yet begun, but the announcement at CinemaCon 2026 ignited a firestorm of social media speculation, with fans demanding answers about Pitt's involvement, the director search, and whether the film will finally adapt the Battle of Yonkers or the Chinese submarine arc from Brooks's novel, two of the most beloved chapters that the 2013 film completely ignored in favor of its globe-trotting action thriller structure. For fans who have waited 12 years through canceled productions, director departures, and studio mergers, World War Z 2 represents something almost unprecedented in modern franchise filmmaking: the resurrection of a dead project through sheer audience demand.